Welcome to LiveDaf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem. Welcome back. Today's daf is NIDAH Aleph, brand new Perek. We're at the Mishnah, around 10 lines from the top. Hama Pelas, a woman who discharges a chaticha, a solid mass. So we're going to discuss the din of tumas leda. If an isha gives birth, she now experiences days of tumah, followed by days of tahara. In which case, any dam she sees during those yimei tahara are considered tahara. After which she brings a korban on account of the birth, korban leda. Now, what process would trigger the tumah and tahara and korban of leda? It must be something which qualifies as a leda, a valid birth. Or even if it's a premature miscarriage, the entity that she's discharging must have had at least potential to fully develop into a viable child. So it has to present in a way which resembles a properly developing fetus, in which case it qualifies as a birth in the context of tumas leda. But otherwise, let's say it's just some sort of material, unidentifiable material, a chaticha, some sort of mass, some sort of glob of apparently some sort of flesh material. Rashi says, lav ledahi. That's not halachically a valid leda, because otherwise she would be tamei on account of that experience, irrespective of presence of dam alongside that chaticha, because leda is a metamei on its own. But in this case, it doesn't qualify as leda, it's a chaticha. Therefore, says the Mishnah, this is shitas chachamim, only if there's blood alongside, then she'll be tamei, not because of the leda, rather because she's a plain nida. If there's dam alongside that chaticha tameya, she's tamei on account of nida, but otherwise tahira, because this doesn't qualify as a leda, and there's no dam. Whether or not there's dam alongside the chaticha, she's tamei because, at least according to some explanations, this chaticha is really dam in a solid format. It's congealed dam, which now presents as a chaticha, as a piece of flesh. So it qualifies as dam nida. She's tamei because she's a nida. Ha'apelas k'min klipa. She discharged something which looks like a scab, k'min sara, like a hair, k'min afar, like sand, k'min yavchushin adumim, red fleas. Tatelamai. So you soak it in water. She puts it into the water and she sees it dissolves. It's made, and she knows that's really dam nida, which sort of hardened. But otherwise, if it stays solid, tahir, now she's tahir because apparently it's not dam. Ha'apelas k'min dagim, chagavim, shkotzim v'ramasim. She's mapel something which resembles a fish, grasshopper, all kinds of creatures. These do not qualify for tumas leda because it doesn't have a human-like appearance. Okay, if there's dam alongside these entities, tmeya because of the dam. Otherwise, tahira. There's no dam, there's no nida, there's no leda, there's no tumas leda. But if it appears like a behema, a pelas min behema, or chaya, va'oif, fowl, bein tmein, bein tahirin, whether of the unkosher or the kosher types, for Meir holds, these are different. These have a unique status. They're a bit closer to the human entity, in which case, im zachar, if the gender was determined to be a zachar, then she runs that track, teshel zachar. She observes the zachar count, which is 7 days of tumah, followed by 33 days of tahara. From nekeva, then she has the nekeva track, teshel nekeva, which is 2 weeks of tumah, followed by 66 of tahara. If you can't define the gender, then she has to cover both bases, teshel zachar nekeva. So she needs to be machmir in a sense, because she gets the longer 2-week nekeva tumah period, followed by a shorter yimei tahara of a zachar, just in case. The Rameir says these qualify as leda. Unless it's human, discount it. Kol she'ein bo mitzuras adam, doesn't have a human-like look. No, it's not a vlad. Amar Rabbi Shmuel. Let's try to understand the background of the machlekes here on that first case of the chaticha. Rabbi says tamei. Chacham say no way, unless there's actual dam with it. Why? What color are we talking about? What's the consistency of this chaticha? Rabbi Shmuel, he quotes Shmuel, Leitim Rabbi Yehuda l'chaticha shel arba'as minei dagim. Even Rabbi Yehuda only qualified it if it resembles one of those 4 colors of red. And as Rashi explains, the kasavar higuf adam, he considers this glob as just being dam in a different format. Hilkach tmei NIDAH. She's telling me because of the NIDAH experience. Ava vlad lehabi, of course it's not a vlad. There's no question it's not a vlad, but it's NIDAH. Despite the fact that it's not flowing dam, it's in a solid form. So if it has one of those 4 qualifying colors, tell me. Aval shasham minidam tahira, but if it's other colors comprised of orange, of yellow, that's tahar. Because according to Shmuel's understanding, the tomb of Rabbi Yehuda is based on NIDAH, which requires those specific 4 colors. Rabbi Yechon Amar, he slightly disagrees. You see, so according to Shmuel, only Rabbi Yehuda considers it like dam NIDAH in a different format, whereas the Rabbanon Taisus explains. Rabbanon says, no, it's a chaticha, it's a new entity. This is not dam. It's a piece of flesh. So even though technically perhaps everything starts off as dam, but now it's evolved into this new entity, this new type of material. It no longer is classified as dam. Rabbi Yechon Amar, he says differently. Shal arba'as minei damim divrei kol tmeya. Everybody agrees to the concept, to the principle of Rabbi Yehuda. A solid mass of red-like material is dam. And if it has that qualifying color, those 4 colors, all agree. Even Rabbanon, that is tahar. On the other end, if it's yellow, green, orange, all agree it's tahar. Because it's not a qualifying color for NIDAH. So what's the machlekes about? When it's an unknown. Do we say it was most likely red, because that's the most likely color, or do we say, yeah? Who says? The machlekes is only Ella Sheipila, and she doesn't know what it was. They lost the material. Das my pila. Rabbi Savar. According to Rabbi Yehuda, look at the majority. Zil basar roiv chatiches. Most of these things are qualifying reds. Roiv chatiches shel arba'as minei damim hamin. Most likely, it's one of the 4 colors. You follow the majority, element. What's the most likely? We don't say most likely. It is comprised of shel arba'as minei damim. So it's merely a numbers question that is subject to machlekes. It's not a conceptual machlekes. Everybody agrees on concept that if you were to confirm that this in fact was one of those 4, it's considered dam NIDAH. The question is if it's an unknown, do you look at roiv or not? Now comes a kash. Voki Asar of Oishi. When Rav Oishi came from the yeshiva of Nardo, also he came and he brought along V'aisi Masnisa Biyad. He presented a bris, which says as follows: Amapelas chaticha. Okay, so she let go of this chaticha. Aduma shechayra. So these 2 are qualifying colors, and then we have unqualifying colors. Yeroika lavana. So the bris sort of pairs together all categories. Yes, qualifying and non-qualifying colors. Unless there's dam alongside it, visible dam, she's telling me, otherwise she's tar. So this chaticha does not change her status. That is, shitas tanakam. Rabbi Omer, no, benkach tmeya. Either way she's tamei, because of the chaticha, which is dam NIDAH. Now, this seems to be inconsistent with our previous presentations. Whether it's Shmuel, that even Rabbi Yehuda is limited to the 4 colors. Here, it mentions other colors as well as qualifying colors. And certainly that's going to be a kash on Rabbi Yechanan as well. Because even according to Rabbi Yechanan as well, it has to be based on the 4 qualifying colors. Plus, there's going to be another kasha on Rabbi Yechonah. We'll see some coming up. Kasha l'Shmuel b'chada. We seem to have from this brisa one kasha on Shmuel's position, on his understanding of the Mishnah. Rabbi Yechonah, we have two questions. L'Shmuel b'chada, one on Shmuel. Shmuel told us, "Oitim Rabbi Yehuda v'chaticha shel arba'as min dagim." The Rabbi Yehuda was only based on the full colors, and here it speaks about other foreign colors. V'aktani yiroika levana. The brisa makes reference to all kinds of off colors. Palag Rabbi Yehuda, and presents Rabbi Yehuda's opposing position, meaning he renders her tamei. How? Why? Perhaps it's a misunderstanding. He's only taking position on the red and the black, which are qualifying colors, but on the green, on the white, no. Even he would agree it doesn't work. Really? So why does the Bryce even bother mentioning those colors if they're not relevant? Who's it relevant to? Why even go in there? But those two colors, with respect to which opinion? Well, why did the Bryce go there? Was it to express the Rabbanan's position? Unnecessary. Even red is discounted, certainly white. They were even by red and black, because they hold the chaticha is not dam, right? It goes without saying that if it's off color, of course it doesn't. There's no point to mention. Apparently, the Brisa was presenting those colors with respect to Rabbi Yehuda's opinion, to highlight upalag that he disagrees. Even he holds that even red, even white, makes her a NIDAH. That's totally inconsistent with Shmuel. That Rabbi Yehuda is only speaking about the full qualifying colors. V'su, another question. So on top of this question, we have another question on Rabbi Yechonah. Rabbi Yechonah the Amar, he told us, "Shal arba'as min adam dirakot tmeya." That even Rabbanan would agree if it's the four qualifying colors. It's considered concealed dam. Haktani adu mashchayra pliga Rabbanan. The Brisa just spoke about red, which the Rabbanan don't accept either. Perhaps we misunderstood the Rabbanan's opinion. They're only taking issue on the off colors. That's not dam NIDAH. But they're not taking issue with the red and the black. Even they would agree it's a NIDAH. So then why does the Bryce even bother mentioning it if it's so obviously tamei? Why did the Bryce even mention it? With respect to which opinion? Was it a point to speak about these colors? Ilim Rabbi Yehuda, was it to highlight Rabbi Yehuda's position? Well, even by white, he says it's tamei. Ashta, look, Reika, Lavana, Tzmeya, there. Well, you don't have the qualifying colors. He says it's tamei because the chaticha comes in these colors, and that's a sort of altered dam NIDAH. Of course, it goes without saying, if it has the original qualifying colors, of course it's tamei. Why does the Bryce even bother mentioning? Apparently, it's expressing the Rabbanan's opinion to highlight that they're disputing, even when it's black, even when it's red. In contrast to Rabbi Yechonah, that everybody agrees if it's qualifying color. Ella Amarav Nachbar Yitzchak. Let me give you a third explanation to the machlokes in the Mishnah. Be'efshar lepsichas hakever v'ledam k'miflik. All agree that the chaticha, this glob, cannot be considered a game changer. It's not dam NIDAH, it's a chaticha. Even if it's red, even if it doesn't matter, it's a new entity. It's basar. The only way is if you would have real dam NIDAH. The question is, was there a dam or not? We know there was an opening of the womb. It's called psichas hakever. It's an expression describing the womb. Can it be possible that there's an opening and there's a discharge without blood? If you say yes, she could be tar. If you say no, inevitably there's blood. She's tamei. That's the machlokes. El Amar, Her Nachman Yitzchak, be'efshar. Is there a possibility? Leftichas hakever le'dam, to have a psichas hakever without presence of dam. That's the point of machlokes. Rabbanan say it's possible, so she's tar unless you confirm that there's dam. Maybe this is impossible. Inevitably there's dam. During this pseudo, Leda. And we'll link it to a similar machlokes on this matter. Uplukta Tani Tanoi. The machlokes Tanoim, the Sanya, Kashta Shnayim, Lushlishi Pila, Vinidas my Pila. So she was kashasa, experiencing birth pangs from the upcoming anticipating an upcoming birth or miscarriage. And while this was happening, while she was experiencing the kishu, she had the riyah of dam. Halacha is that if she's doing the ziva, time frame of the month, that blood is not considered tummy unless it came naturally, without being externally forced and prompted by external elements such as an impending birth. But if it came on account of an impending birth, it's not going to be tummy her on account of ziva. So even if she has 3 days in a row of dam, she's not going to be tummy. There's no carbon. But then there's a carbon for the birth. So either way, she's chayv a carbon. But let's say she had this pain and blood experience, joint experience, Sunday and Monday, kosher shtam, 2 days in a row. Tuesday, if she would give birth to a proper child, then she would be absolved from the tumah ziva because it's blood accompanying a birth. He pila, but she discharged something which she can't identify. We don't know what it was. She doesn't know if it was a nafel, or was it a proper miscarriage, was just a ruach, Rashi says, just a sack of just vacuum, or just of air, of empty, was it qualifying later or not? That's my people. Turn to this. Harizu suffix later of suffix sifa. Rashi adds that on the third day we don't know if it was dam either. We know there was some sort of discharge. So we're not sure on 3 accounts. Was there something qualifying as leda to prompt a carbon, a bird, a chatas bird? And if not, maybe there was 3 days of dam, which makes her a zava, which triggers a chiv carbon. Or maybe none of the above. Maybe it wasn't a leda, and maybe there was no dam on the third day either. So dam on 2 days in a row doesn't prompt a carbon. So it's just suffix. Suffix leda, suffix ziva, she has to bring maybe a carbon, she brings a chatas bird, just in case. And nechal, the Kohanim can't eat it. Just in case it's not really a valid carbon. Rabbi Shoimer, he says either way she has to bring. Because he says that what happened on Tuesday, that discharge inevitably brought along some dam with it. So either way she's chayv a carbon. If it's a leda, she's absolved from the ziva because it accompanied a birth, but she has to bring a carbon because of the leda. If it's not a qualifying birth, inevitably there was dam there as well, so she's 3 days in a row. It's a non-birth related triple day ziva experience, so she's a zava. Rabbi Shoimer, be a carbon v'nechal, bring it and eat it. She emshal of sichas hagev l'dam. You can't have sichas hagev without dam. Certainly there was dam there. Okay, lishnach namr. There was a slightly different version of this above discussion regarding the various explanations. Machlekes Rabbi Yehuda and the Rabbanon. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Shmuel lo yitim Rabbi Yehuda ela b'chaticha shel abba min damim. So this initial presentation sounds very similar to sounds identical to the earlier version. Even Rabbi Yehuda only qualified if the chaticha has the abba min dagim, the 4 qualifying colors. Aval shel sham min dam tahir, but if it consists of other colors, it's tar. Eini, is that so? Okay, asar oishim min hada. Also, he came. It's almost word for word. V'ayisi ma'asis b'yada, he had the brisa, which says on pelas chaticha dumo, shchari rak levana. She has a chaticha of all different colors, on colors, off colors, right? Im eishim adam tmeya, but comes along with real dam. She's tummy, mimlap, otherwise tahira. This chaticha does not render her a NIDAH. Rabbi Yehuda, she's tummy regardless. Bengach hamengach tmeya. So let's take note of the colors in the brisa. We have proper colors and we have non-qualifying colors. Tani aduma shchara, which are qualifying colors. Then we have Yerok Levana, which are not qualifying colors. Upal Rabbi Yehuda takes issue on both. He considers her NIDAH on both accounts. Whereas Shmuel says Rabbi Yehuda only applies tuma in a limited fashion, only in qualifying colors. Perhaps Rabbi Yehuda is only taking position on the red and the black. The other colors. So why does the Bryce even bother going there? Is it to highlight the Rabbanah's opinion? Obviously. Even by red, they discount it. Maintain her tahara. Certainly if it's off colors, which don't qualify as dam nidi. Goes without saying. Allah Rabbi Yehuda. So clearly the Bryce is expressing Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. Upalik, to say that he takes issue even by the off colors, which is inconsistent with Shmuel. Ella Amara. The Gersa Rabbi Yochanan. So we skip straight to the third pshat. This is whether it's possible to have an expulsion without dam. Rabbi Yehuda says, impossible, and nevertheless she's a NIDAH. Chacham say it's possible, so she can't be a NIDAH. Uplukta dani tanoi, you can't consider her a NIDAH. Some say she's a NIDAH mesafik, but you can't confirm her as a NIDAH. Uplukta dani tanoi, which follows the same achlekas tanoim elsewhere, the Sanya, right, the story of the 2-3 days with the Leda. Kasha sashnaim sheshi pila, v'nidas my pila, rivsavik leda, mizim, v'kom nechal, v'shoimer, v'kom v'nechal. It was impossible that it came without dam. So she must be a triple zava with a carbon or a carbon leda. Okay, let's just take a quick pause. So we have the story on Pelas Chaticha. Rashi explains it's not a leda, but is there a NIDAH element there? Rabbi Yehuda says, yep. Chacham say no. We have one shot. Rabbi Yehuda, Chacham arguing whether we can classify the Chaticha as Dam NIDAH, in which case it has to be consisting of the 4 Midei Damim, because otherwise Rabbi Yehuda would agree that it's Tar. Rabbi Yehuda learns all agree that it's considered Dam NIDAH if in fact it has the proper color. Chalakis is when it's an unknown. Do we look at Roiv or not? We have another shot. All agree it's not Dam NIDAH. Question is whether we can assume that there is dam alongside the psichas hakever, which makes her a NIDAH. Tan Rabban. So in the Mishnah we learned that if we discount the chaticha, the only way to change her status is by discovering, dam, actual dam, or knowing there was dam there, alongside the chaticha. Question: let's say there was dam inside the chaticha. Shall we just discount it? It's part of the chaticha. Whatever the chaticha, that right, same status goes to the dam. It's just sort of a byproduct of the dissolved chaticha. It's not dam NIDAH. Or shall we say no? If you have real dam or a trace of dam in the chaticha, that's dam NIDAH, separate from the element from the chaticha. That makes her a NIDAH. Tan Rabbanan, Apelas chaticha. Sumchas, he takes it a step further than our Mishnah. Sumchas oim Mishra Meir, kosher Meir, v'chinayim Rabbi Shimon ben Menasya. Oimer kidvarav. Likewise, Rabbi Shimon ben Menasya would say, likewise, Koira, tear open the chaticha and see what's inside. Im yesh dam b'soich, if you discover dam there, tmeya. Despite the fact that it's embedded in the chaticha, it can have status of dam NIDAH. V'imlav, otherwise, no dam teir. So in a sense, kirabban, it's going like the Rabbanon, that you can only be metamer if you find dam NIDAH. But he takes it a step further. Adif from the Rabbanon, he's more machmer than the Rabbanon. Because on the one hand, we're going kirabbanon, the Amri who say efshel psichas hakever dam. You could have psichas without dam, in which case the chaticha itself would not be an indication of dam, unless you find dam. But the dam doesn't have to be completely separate. V'adifa, he's more strict. Midrabbanon, they hold ima in only if it's alongside. If it's separate, it qualifies as dam NIDAH. But b'soicha, embedded in the chaticha, that's part of the chaticha. It's batal the chaticha. It doesn't qualify. If simcha savar takes it a step further, I feel b'soicha even inside. If it's dam, it makes her a tamei. V'tanidach, we have another brayso, another angle on this. Hampalas chaticha, right? Ravacha imer, koira, tear it open. Techa madim. You need not find actual dam. Even a mark, a red mark. It's red in there. It's male. That's an indication of dam. Otherwise, tahira. Kisumchas, on the one hand, he's following Sumchas' opinion. Even dam embedded in the chaticha can count as dam NIDAH. But if Sumchas, he's taking it even a step further. Even a trace qualifies. We have the third brayso. Hampalas chaticha, Rabbi Yamna Ima Kara, tear it open. Yeshba etzem. He says, I'll give you a case where it can be considered a legal vlad. Aside from the NIDAH issue, this chaticha can be a vlad. Koira, how? Tear it open and see what's inside. If it resembles an undeveloped, fetus, im yesh ba'etzem, it has a bone inside. Imoit me'alei, the mother's tummy lay. It's considered a leda. Amar Rav Chizda is another requirement. B'chaticha levana, provided the outside is white, which is the color of the undeveloped flesh. V'chein ti'asa zuga. Likewise, when this pair of chachamim came, the men from Chadiv Asa, some say, Taisi says a Gersa Zuzah, Shem Chacham. He came and brought along a brayso, Asa v'aisim asis biyadeh, which says like this: she discharges a white mass, koira, Open it up. There's a bone in Matmei Leida. Now back to the NIDAH track. Palas chaticha. Kaira, to open the chaticha. Yesh ba dam. Agur. He requires dam agur, which is a accumulation of dam. Not enough to have a drop. It has to be a serious amount. Then she's tmei. Then that's considered dam nidav. Otherwise, it's just sort of like a liquefied chaticha. It doesn't count as dam tahira. How does this fit with the previous opinions? Because sumchus, on the one hand, it's exactly like sumchus. Even embedded in a chaticha can count as dam nidav. V'kila mikula, but he's more lenient than everybody else. According to this, it has to be an actual, pooling of blood, of dam to be considered its own entity, dam nidav. Otherwise, it's just sort of batal to the chaticha. You don't reckon with it. Ba'a minei Rabbi Yirmiyah. He asked the question, Rabbi Zera. So this is a general question. Haraya dam sheferis. Let's speak about a regular isha who has a flow of dam. Now the dam did not flow directly out of the system. It was sort of channeled through a sheferis, through a tube. So it never came into contact with the walls. Never ran along the walls of the channel on the way out. Mao, what's her status? Pasuk says, she sees dam bivisara. Amar Achmana, shall we learn that it means in contact with the basar on its way out. Bivisara, Amar Achmana. Pasuk speaks about bivisara, below sheferis, as opposed to having this barrier running through a tube. On the other hand, you can say, Hi bivisara, this word is needed for something else. Baile, it's needed for a different halach, unavailable for this. It's needed shemetama b'fnei kivachutz. That even if the dam hasn't really left the body, it's on its way out. It's in the outer chamber. It's also metame. But not coming to rule out the tube. Amar lei. So he responded, Bivsara amar Achmana, well, sheferis. Yes, we rule out the sheferis. Because if it's only coming to teach us the other point, we don't have to spell it out this way. If so, name a kra, the pasuk would simply say Bisara. Or Bibasar. Why does it add the extra letter? Bibisara. Teach us both halachas. Shmamanat. Ask the Gemara, is that so? It needs to be contact on the way out. It can't be channeled through a tube. We just learned blood encased in a chaticha qualifies as dam nidav, despite the fact that it was wrapped up on its way out. Apelas chaticha, right? Koira, tear it open. Yesh ba dam ogor tmeya. Apparently, blood inside this wrapping is still matami b'lav toira. Big difference there. It's coming out naturally. It's somewhat natural for an isha occasionally to have this type of phenomenon of discharging a chaticha containing dam. It's not considered a chatzitza. Rashi said it's called min b'minoi. One type sitting on its own type. It's one continuum, one package. It's not like a foreign material getting in the way. How could you compare Hassam over there? Darker shalisha. It is occasionally the manner of an isha, to have this experience, to have the dam in her chaticha on the way out. But here, through a tube, most unnatural way of releasing the dam. So that imposes a barrier. Says the Gemara, perhaps, lema shveferes tanoi. This discounting, of the dam running through the sheferes based on the pasuk of Sarah is really linked to a machlekas tanaim. Some hold of it and some don't. The Sani, we have a brayso. Palas chaticha. Okay, back to the story of the chaticha. Avo b'shem dam. Even if it's filled with dam, leave it alone. Doesn't count. Im yeshima dam tmeya, unless you have dam alongside it, outside of it, which makes her tamei. Otherwise, vim lav tahira, because the dam in the chaticha doesn't count. It has to come out b'vsara, touching the walls of the. And apparently he disagrees with the Reb Shimon Yochai, who holds that min b'minoi and echaytz. He says no, it's no different than any other, channeled blood channeled through some sort of tube. Lezo Eimer, he seems to be repeating the same thing. If Sarah teaches us as opposed to blood contained in some sort of and wrapping of a shvir, Rashi says, the membrane of the vlad, or inside a chaticha, doesn't count. Says the Gemara, Reb Lezer is simply repeating Hainu Tanakama, who discount this blood. Ema, the answer is right, it's all the same person. Sher Reb Lezer Aimer. Tanakama says it's Torah, because Reb Lezer is speaking. He holds, if Torah teaches as opposed to embedded in something else. Again, they seem to be repeating the same thing. This doesn't qualify as dam nida. Dam chaticha is in a chaticha, it doesn't qualify. Well, Tanakama namitiur mitayr. Why? In what way are they disagreeing with the Tanakama who's also considering her Torah, discounting the dam? So we have to figure out what's the subject of the what's the subject of machlekes here. Ella, it must be like this: the pali pelui ikibenai. Machlekes will revolve around blood found in the crevices. Rashi says pali pelui. It's the chaticha. It's not just a smooth mat. It has like cracks and crevices in which there is dam. So it's not inside. It's sitting on the outer surface of the chaticha. So it's visible. It's sort of somewhat separate, but it's not completely separate. It's sort of latched onto the chaticha. And that will be the machlekes. Tanakama says, look, I hold of that drush, of that source. B'Bsara teaches us it has to flow directly out of the guf with full contact with her guf on the way out. As opposed to blood found in other packagings on the way out. Wouldn't the sheferis? Same thing would be with the tube, it doesn't qualify. That's only when it's smooth, meaning the blood is on the inside. But if it's cracked and crevice and there's blood on the outside, why not? That's tmeya. My time, you know why? Because it's in full contact with the channel of the woman. There's nothing getting in the way. It's sitting on this, it's getting a ride on this thing on its way up, but it's bifsara, coming into contact with the environment. Rabbanan disagree. They take issue with the whole source, the whole halacha. Rashi explains. They don't hold it. The Pesara teaches us to rule out, the non-contact blood, the sheferis blood. They don't have that drush. So what do they? Why are they discounting this dam? They come and they tell us like this. You know why? Because it's part of the chaticha. It's not called dam nida. You see a mass, you see a glob, this is part of that glob. It's not dam nida. Whether it's on the inside, the outside, it's irrelevant. Even if it's on the outside and the cracks, it's dam nida. It's not labeled as dam nida. It's part of the dam chaticha. But if it would be real, just plain blood, dam nida. Of course it would be mitame, even if it's running through a channel, even through a tube. I feel the sheferis. Nami. So we seem to have discovered in Machlekes Tanaim whether we discount dam in sheferis. Amra Abaye, no, you don't have to say that. The sheferis, kuli amali pli Torah. If it's running through a sheferis, all agreed. It's not. Doesn't qualify. So all would adopt that opinion. So what's the Machlekes about? Keep pleading. B'chatich. We're speaking about dam that's embedded in the crevices on the external surface of the chatich. So it's a localized machlekes. Mar savar darka shel isha there's dam chaticha. So yeah, inside the chaticha, it's too far away. It's disconnected from the isha, but sitting on the external surface of the chaticha, it's within the environment of the isha. That's called bifsara. Right? It's sliding out of the isha, it's touching the wall. Umar Savar, Rabbanan say no. Ain't darka shel isha, it's not the normal way, it's not typical for an isha to see isha there's dam chaticha. So Rabbanan say occasionally it happens and qualifies as dam nida, the Tanakam. And the Rabbanan disagree, meaning that this assumes the status of the chaticha. It's considered part and parcel of the chaticha, whether it's on the inside or the outside. She's taught. Rabba Amar, he has a different opinion. The kuli yalma and darka shalisha there's dam chaticha. All agree this type of re'iyah is not. It's not considered the re'iyah of the isha of dam nida. It's part of the chaticha. So all agree she's not tummy, she's not an NIDAH. The question is merely on the status of the blood itself. Here, B'isha Torah. On the one hand, we're considering her Torah. She had no dam NIDAH, but what's the status of this blood which came into contact with the womb, with the area? Is that a reason to make the blood tummy? The blood itself, Isha Torah, the dam tummy? He says, all of the woman is free, but the dam is tummy. Why the ha'asi derech malka? It came through that system. But Rabbanan Sabri, Isha Torah, Torah. They don't hold of the tumah of dam just because it went through the system. It's not tummy. Look at that. She's not tummy. Why should the dam be tummy? Just a piece of basar here. There's nothing to make them tummy. So even if there's dam around it, everybody's tar. Okay, so we had our Mishnah with the Paras Chaticha. He says Tameh, but two ways to understand his opinion, whether it's because they dam NIDAH in its new format, or because he says most likely it was the right color, or irrespective of the Chaticha, we assumed there was dam alongside it. We found another Machlokes Tanaim on this topic as well, and we had a new list of opinions, Sumchas, and that different variations of that position, which is that even the Rabbanon required dam, it could be inside the Chaticha, accumulated, or even just a impression of dam is enough. And we had a new sugi about Sarah, which teaches us that on the dam on its way out is enough to be a tamir, even though it hasn't actually left the guf. And the question was whether from Sarah we can also learn that it has to be in contact with the bus on the way out, without a hefsek, without a chatzitza. And even if you hold the chatzitza as an issue, we had Reb Shimon Yochai who says that if it came in the chaticha, that would not be an issue because min b'min lechayitz. And that led us into another brisa, was it machlokes? I mean, I said ways to explain that brisa, whether they were arguing about the question of sheferes, or whether it's darka to see with the chaticha, or forget about the dam NIDAH, forget about her NIDAH status, where the dam itself is tamei because of the makar, or mekayim tamei, or mekayim tar. Okay, all the best to you, and hatzlacha.